Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Yes, it sounds very dramatic, but it isn't. The market is a box fight, and we are looking forward to hear the bell. So, yeah, the market a little bit doing as expected. Unfortunately, I don't like it all, but it is what it is. We can't change that. We can see what's happening at the moment. Just driving the price in a very, very, in a way that they are controlling it, as you can see just here, pushing to the downside, I guess. And it is the case, of course. SPY, SPX dumping hard, so Bitcoin maintaining at the moment, just maintaining. The question is how much they will resist to follow. I think that SPY is going just to retest its 363 support area, and then we need to see if they break this one. Bitcoin will go down very hard, so we need to see what's going to happen next. However, we had today, I was close to switch to German, very close, we have seen today a very exciting conference organized and provided by the Bank of France, with Jeremy Powell, Lagarde, Carstens, and so on and so forth. That was, in my opinion, one of the best conferences I have seen related to crypto since a while, where central bankers could also talk about their expectations and where they have some doubts. And that was, in my opinion, very interesting and very important at the same time. And yeah, I mean, they talked about different topics related to crypto, stablecoins on one side, where we see a big gap, also about the opinions between central bankers. Singapore, realistic bullish. Carstens, very bearish on stablecoin, because of course stablecoins would be a big competitor of CBDCs at the same time. That's something they don't want at any price. And at the same time, we have seen, for example, as well, the topic of DeFi, where banks are very bullish on DeFi at the moment. Not only at the moment, but in general, because that's for them the future. And I can also explain why. And it's not the first time. It's not the first time that central bankers did some studies how or what they need to provide also to the private banking sector, the tools to make decentralized finance, how to provide that, how to make it successful. And that was one of the triggers why I started to buy Fusion, for example. The European Central Bank just once provided and published this study, the use of DLT in post-trade processes. And they just, part of the study, they started also to check current available crypto projects that will support the whole idea of to use these kind of DLT-based solutions for post-trade scenarios. And if we go forward, we can see very, very also indicating a little bit the final picture of their architecture they have in mind. That's very techy, but if you like that, I can and will try just to post the link. It's not new, it's from last year, if I'm not wrong. And they started really just to check different projects. One of them is Atom Cosmos, for example, system for on-chain communication of different blockchain by Cosmos, interoperability platform by Polkadot, it's interoperability. It's the main thing. It's what where mainly these companies, the private banking sector, will be extremely bullish on. And you see, we have different projects here, ILP, open source solution for connecting blockchains by Fusion, for example. Also here, talking about the DCRM, decentralized control rights management, for example, talking about Chainlink, talking about, for example, Quant. So we have here a huge use case we can see related to different crypto projects, where, in my opinion, that give us, and Bitcoin is reacting as expected. Once again, they are surprising us. And so we need to track the development of central bankers, because they will start not only to bring some pilot projects, but also working on standards. Standard is the key word here. Standard is required for the transformation of the banking sector. And as soon as we know that Atom, Quant, Fusion, ILP, and so on and so forth is going to be the new standard, jump in, because that's absolutely the best thing you can do in the future, because that's what banks will need to transform their institutions for the DeFi, the next DeFi. And it's clearly that the DeFi that the central bankers and private sector is talking about, it's a different DeFi that we know from the crypto space. So we will keep tracking all this. Just have that in mind. I will post in my YouTube channel exactly. And do you know what? I will post that on Twitter just in a few minutes, so that you guys have all these informations available. So, and another topic I would like to talk in my introduction is the CB consumer confidence. Some people were a little bit irritated. First of all, why it's better than expected? Well, I can't tell you why it's better than expected. Like the new home sales, expected 500K, they sold, or it seems registered new home sales 685,000. That's really big. However, all this data looking great. It's not great for the markets at the moment. However, sorry, someone called me. However, so the point is, good news is good for the US dollar at the moment. So everything that comes out that's better than expected, it's going to be worst case for markets and best case for the US dollar. Why? Because it gives the Fed, the availability to be even more hawkish than just before. So the market is strong, the economy is strong, we can bring more pain to the market. And that's the slogan behind. So yes, it is bullish and bearish at the same time, I would say. And as you can see, SPY once again just dumping. Bitcoin will follow. SPX, of course, DXY lifting up, and that's what's going to happen. Could be a game changer with GDP. For example, PCE and GDP Thursday and Friday is going to be even worse than expected. In such case, it will be a game changer, or something we need to see. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, but However, let us take a quick look what's happening to the market right now. And weights ratio daily invoice ratio 1 hour. So where's my epic pen? Here. So Wales ratio 30 days moving average lifting up after we had yesterday once again a very high Wales ratio 30 days moving average, daily to 56 was yesterday, 37 was before, so extremely bearish and indicating they were selling more bitcoins to the centralized exchanges. So what we see here is that the Wales ratio 30 hours moving average lifted up, declined, is lifting up once again. I have warned higher highs, higher lows, breakout, down. That's what's happening. That's what they did last time. It wasn't that big like last time, but it was exactly the same pattern. Exactly the same. Just, however, we are not done. We need to see if we are going to bounce. I thought 19.8 and we will go up once again. But at the moment we are at 19.7. It looks like we are going back to 19.2. If that's the case, or maybe a little bit higher, 19.3. If that's the case, that's really pain in the ass. Really pain in the ass. However, we need to see. However, once again, as you see, I'm a little bit distracted today. Stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges lifted up, so a little bit indicating they were preparing here this move and still lifting up. Not big at all, indicating we could be done already and we need to see how far they want to go. But the main point here is stablecoin supply is declining even more. So they are taking money, capital out from the markets. Once again, receiving some stablecoin outflows from Binance. And, and that's what's happening at the moment. So it doesn't look bullish at all, unfortunately. They did, once again, the same move like we had a few weeks ago, where you remember I flipped to bullish, and when they started to do it, I said, okay, I'm flipped to bearish once again. That's what happened exactly today. Once again, I don't like, without retest, to push up like hell, without any retest. Just go up and maintain there, make higher highs, higher lows to liquidate the late shorts. And then when they are noticing, okay, people are flipping back to bullish, then they let the price dump once again. They did it again. Once again. That's the market conditions we have right now. Let us go forward and check the flow activity. So what we see, and as mentioned, and I did that today in my tweet, I mentioned that already. They did it just again. That was front running with sending almost 4,000 bitcoins just close before we started to lift up. And since there, we had here, for example, a few hours ago, almost 1,750 bitcoins. Here, another 2,000 bitcoins. Here in the last 2 hours, another 2,400 bitcoins. So, I mean, as mentioned, the whole market is in hands of few, and they will show us the path. Not we are going to do it. So, also here, 34 or almost 35 million stablecoin inflows, another 50 million inflows to centralized exchanges. Also here indicating they were just really making this kind of fake rally once again, where our main fake rally initiator was once again involved. That's the market maker entities. We can check them once again. Oh, I don't know why Crypto Quant is doing this kind of failures at the moment. So now it appears here. And as you see, not big at all. They sent here that had a fund flow of 600 bitcoins, here another 600 bitcoins, matches very well to the flow activity, but they were the main driver of this 4,000 bitcoin inflows we had yesterday night, just a few hours before we started to lift up. And well, the consequence, yeah, we know what the consequence is. We can see that on the chart right now. I have warned about the open interest, leverage ratio, and everything that we can see at the moment that's declining, of course, because once again, bulls right now bleeding. I mean, funding rate lifted up, it's declining. Open interest lifted up, it's declining. Leverage ratio lifted up, it's declining, because they're right now just liquidating them. We had bigger Bitcoin inflows to derivative exchanges, while, for example, less stable coin inflows related to derivative exchanges, also something that was wondering me a little bit. But you can see here someone is, it seems, shorting big with almost 10,000 bitcoins in the last 2 hours. Just before the big pump, someone just removed 6,000 bitcoins from derivative exchanges, so they flipped to shorts, it seems. And well, we can see what's happening. It's crazy. It's really crazy what they are doing with the market. It's just crap. We can see at the moment this, let me refresh this chart because it looks delayed. Now it looks better. With the starting of this dump with 200 bitcoins in liquidation, longs liquidation. So after they liquidated shorts, now it's time to liquidate longs. So we also see the aggregated here, how, for example, open interest in leverage ratio lifted up, funding rate indicating they were demanding more longs than shorts, and that's what happened finally. If we take a look to Binance, it's exactly the same, and right now declining just because they are liquidating them. So let us take a look to BitMEX. Yeah, I mean, a little bit more short, so I would be extremely careful here. It wouldn't surprise me if we go down to 19.3 and then go up once again to 20K to shake out on both sides. So be extremely careful in this operation here, very careful. But as you see, shorts are coming a little bit more than longs. However, it was looking not that good today when I checked that the first time, because it was indicating still much more longs than shorts right now. Shorts taking over just because of the current dump. We can check now here Binance what they are doing, while we can go over and check what's happening here. DXY retesting 114, 250, so it can go a little bit more up, and in my opinion Bitcoin should at least stop here. That would be exactly at 19.3, and we will see if that's going to happen. I mean, thanks God. I'm using I'm hedging all the time. I'm still longing, so they will be liquidate me at 18,950 while I have a bigger short running. So we will see. I mean, I would cover the long and make a little bit of gain, would be extremely cool if they are not going to liquidate my long, so I can take profit from my short and then take profit from my long. That's the idea behind. We will see. However, Kingfisher, Whoa, Kingfisher. What is Kingfisher showing? Okay, that's crazy. Someone is, it seems, shorting with low leverage but big. And we have here now a cluster, very interesting, on the long side, very close to our current price. Shakeout, I told you. So be extremely careful here, because it wouldn't surprise me if we go directly up to 20k. Not saying that's it. So we need to be extremely careful here. They are going to slap both sides of the face. FTX, let us see if it matches. And yeah, no, it doesn't. We see here low leverage longs on FTX. However, that matches very well. So we could go down to 19.3, even a little bit lower, 19.2, to liquidate this part, and afterwards, to go up again. But I don't know why, to be honest, because we don't have anything here. We need to push up directly to 2300 to start to liquidate some shorts. So also here we need to see. However, it seems the bears are much more on Binance, while the bulls are much more presented on FTX at the moment. So let us go forward. So let us take a look what's happening to the CBDs in my space. That was my last note, where I said, oh, we had a breakout, we are now retesting, looks solid, and well, afterwards and down. Yeah, I don't like it all. I really had so a little bit of hope that they are going to go to 20,500, retest at least that area. They didn't. We not even reached 20,400. It was a very accurate forecast yesterday, indicating 20,200, maintain there, maybe go a little bit more up and then dump. It wasn't part of my plan, to be honest. It wasn't absolutely part of my plan. But yeah, you can see what they did here. I mean, FTX wasn't really supporting the whole price structure. Started very late and now just selling. However, and I said that I would be extremely careful what they are doing at the moment. Really careful, because it wouldn't surprise me if they are going to bounce very aggressive to shake out the shorts. Because if we are really going now to retest our current bottom, then be sure that exchanges will not allow just to give you the opportunity to take profit. Absolutely not. It's the best case for them right now, really, to shake out both sides. As mentioned, slap both sides of the face. So FTX right now distributing nothing big. So after what they did, that's Binance right now. Also here you can see they are selling. They need to sell, otherwise the price. But look what they are doing. I mean, the whole dump right now mostly driven by Bitcoin collateral futures. That's crazy. And we know who likes to do that, right? We know that. We don't know who is behind, but we know what entity is behind. Something Bitfinex. I mean, look, aggregated CBD spot, Bitcoin collateral, stablecoin collateral futures, and what Bitfinex did. Nothing. They not even cared about. And Coinbase, also different to what we know from Coinbase, they are distributing. They are selling what they just bought before at 18,000. If that's not smart, I don't know what it is. In my opinion, it's really smart. So let us take a look what happened to our entities, and we can see that this guy's reducing a little bit, nothing big. This guy's reducing a bit, nothing big. This guy's maintaining. So retailers still very bullish. This guy's declining even more because they bought the dip, great profit entity, and the market maker entity just lift up a little bit its balances, so nothing big. And these guys, monthly exchanges, right now declining a bit because they are selling, and so someone is also at the same time buying. So you can imagine they are selling, so they are just meeting a new owner of the bitcoins, and they are taking these bitcoins out of the exchanges. That's why this entity is reducing its balances. So we can check if we can see anything else that could be useful for us, but I think I have mentioned that activity on spot and derivatives still declining. Miners not doing anything, they're really chilling. Coinbase also here, it seems, was partly with OTC. OTC once again active when the price is dumping. Also here Coinbase, Huobi once again here. It seems, and that's crazy, that Huobi could be one of the main driver of today's dump. Wow. It matches to lose 50,000 bitcoins. That's crazy. Well, I would say that was it, and we go forward directly to the next chapter. So Coinbase, they triggered the sell order here, 20k. We maintained a little bit, nothing else declined. Next bigger wall we are reaching at 19,100 our main POC, 19,135. So I would expect we are very close to our bounce. At least we should bounce there. I don't think we are going just to ignore the main POC here, because if that's going to happen, that would be extremely critical in my opinion. So let us see what's going to happen. Usually it should bounce here and go up a little bit, at least retrace before we can go more to the downside. It could still happen, and we need to see. So if we take a look, reinforcing 16k, they take some volume from 17k. But I mean, does that look bullish to you? They are expecting something big. However, we need to see how they are right now, just reinforcing this here. So in my opinion, we should retrace here. Maybe go up a little bit more to 19.3 or something, and then we need to see what's going to happen next. So Deribit, let us take a look what Deribit is doing. Also here they triggered, it seems, at 20,300 a sell order, nothing to the downside, big red volume. Bitstamp, also interesting, also triggered here 20,200 a sell order, while as you can see they are here waiting with huge volume to buy the dip. Binance, they removed the walls here, was a little bit my indicator, so that's it. Waiting here 20,500 with big volume, also triggered the sell order at 20k, triggered the order at 19.5, and right now going down. Also here waiting, as you can see, they are trying to push more to the downside right now. Bears pushing to the downside, bulls waiting here at least at 19k, so in case the price wants to go more to the downside. reinforcing here, as you can see, and they are really, wow, they are really pushing to the downside. That's crazy. Wow, wow, wow. I think that will take a little bit of time. It's not going to happen, but they are really pushing here. So yeah, crazy, really crazy. However, also here, does that look bullish to you? Not for me, absolutely not. Not expecting we are going to 16K. I still think that a retest of our current bottom would make sense. For me, it would make sense. I mean, it's really hard to forecast if we are going to make a new bottom. To be honest, I really can't say that. I really can't say that. Wouldn't expect that either. So, but however, we need to see because it looks very aggressive what these guys are doing at the moment. So, Bitfinex spot. Nothing. Really nothing changed here. FTX perp. Shorts here, and longs waiting there, as you can see right there. So there it seems pushing a little bit, so to let the price retrace. So however, we need to see what they are going to do. Don't see here a clear limitation to the downside, to be honest, not yet. So we need to see here, just to show you what these guys are doing. Look what they did. That's the biggest bull trap I have ever seen. Oh, that's crazy. And now retesting, after we had a breakout here, now retesting once again this lower trend line. If that's not crazy, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say if that's not crazy. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It wouldn't surprise me if they're going to make the same on the opposite track. That would be extremely crazy. Okay, however, we go forward. So, BitMEX next, OKEX, and so on, Kraken. Well, we can check Kraken, but here on BitMEX, nothing. They just, they didn't change anything here. So, you can see that these guys just, were shifting some liquidity to the downside also here. If we check, for example, right now, Kraken. Wow, oh my god, Kraken. Now at 18K waiting, but they removed the whole liquidity to the downside. That's dangerous. Binance futures. No comments to that. I mean, nothing big changed. We still have a lot of longs waiting there, and we are not talking about a very bullish price action. Absolutely not. They liquidated my long. Nice. To now go up. Okay. Well, at least my short neutralized the loss. Bitfinex derivatives. Also here, not happening anything. Look, they removed, if we check, here you see the cluster, they remove liquidity to the downside once again. Also not looking very good to me. Kraken futures, nothing. And the last one, FTX spot. Also interesting, it triggered 20,300 SL order, and the biggest wall here at 16,000, 10,000. Wow. I mean, also don't looking very, I mean, they shifted part of the liquidity here back to the upside, as you can see, at 14,500, but wow, just wow. Just really wow. What an operation. Okay, then let us go to the personal conclusion. I'm a little bit scared. I don't know what to tell there.